All right, so now that we've got our string line set and our levels right, we're going to mark out where we're going to put the start of our first course of blocks. Now keep in mind to check with your council on height restrictions and also dial before you dig. That's going to pick up any services like water mains, electrical and any storm water. So when we first start measuring out, what we want to do is from the back of the block to the back wall, we want 300 mil. Just to allow for our drainage and our ag pipe. Once that's marked out this way, keeping in mind with your height restrictions, block walls up to 1 metre, you need to bury that first block 100 mil into the base of your footing. If you're going over 1 metre, you'll need to have engineered plans, and that first block is going to have to be 200 mil into your footing. So let's start digging that trench out, following our string line. So now that we've got our string line set, we're going to work on our foundations. Walls up to 1 metre high, the blocks need to be buried 100 mil into the ground. So what we're going to work on is we're going to put our road base in at 100 mil at a time, and we're going to compact that. We do a few layers at a time, then we run our compactor over it and get that nice and hard before we do our next layer. Keeping in mind that you want to leave 300 mil from the back of your block wall to the start of your excavation. And that's going to allow for your ag pipe, which is 100 mil in diameter, as well as the 10 to 20 mil drainage stone. That drainage stone is going to be layered in at 200 mil at a time. All we need to do now is grab the compactor and compact that first layer. So now that we've got our foundation compacted, we've got our string line set, we're going to start putting our blocks, our first course of blocks in. Now to get these first course of blocks spot on is going to help you for the rest of the build. So using a small level and a rubber mallet, we're going to get this block sat nice and level. As stated before, once we get this first course in, the rest of the blocks are just going to go in like a piece of cake. Keeping that 300 mil distance towards the back of the blocks, that's going to allow for that extra drainage and our ag pipe to go in. Now as we go along, we're going to backfill at 200 mil at a time. All right, so now that we've got our first course of blocks in, we're going to put our ag pipe on the back of the wall, measure our distances out, and then start to backfill it with our drainage gravel. So when you put your ag pipe in, basically what you want to do is have that sitting up from the end that's going to capture the first lot of water. And just get your level on there, and you want to have some sort of fall heading back down towards your storm water. Now that we've got that in place, we'll just get a couple of shovels of 10 to 20 mil drainage stone. And just make sure that we sort of get that tucked in nicely behind the wall. And we're going to fill in 200 mil at a time, as well as the centers of our blocks. Now we've come to our second course of blocks. We've got to make sure that these main body blocks finish halfway through the face of the block below. Now the face of this main body block is going to line up with the chamfer on the course below. And you'll see on the back, there's just a slight overhang. With this block wall, we're going to knock off between 20 and 30% of these wings, and that's going to allow for our drainage gravel to lock in the whole wall as it gets built. All right, now we've finished laying our standard heron block wall. What we're going to do is we're going to finish off this nice and neatly with our top caps. Now to do that, we're going to use some flexible adhesive. We're going to make sure that both surfaces of the top cap and the standard unit are free from dust and moisture. That way we're going to get a good strong bond at the end of the job. Now that we've glued our Heron top caps onto our standard units, using a rubber mallet and a level, just ensuring that that all finishes off nice and level. And that's how you install the Heron top cap onto the block wall.